economic situation is very dire, and it does appear to me that the MPP has no clue as to finding a solution to the challenges that we find ourselves in. I have heard their flag bearer going and doing all sorts of promises, and I keep on asking myself, is he not part of the government? Because he's the chairman of the economic management team, for Christ's sake.
But he says he has limited powers.
What are the limited powers?
So he can't do much.
The man who goes cherry picking and then claiming, that where there is glory, he takes it. Where there is failure, he tries to pass the back. That is not a good leader. A good leader is the one who will stand up and then admit where he has failed and assure people that. But you go around and then you keep on telling people that it is only NDC people who are saying the economic situation in Ghana is dire. Then, of course, you don't know what is on the ground. Then it means that your people are not informing you well. Because the reality of the situation is that people are really suffering. Prices of goods and services are escalating by the day. The dollar has no leg to stand on. The person who was brought in, and remember, Nana Akufo-Addo told Ghanaians that he went in for Dr. Bawumia because of his economic prowess, what he has done at the Bank of Ghana, and he's the Messiah, the whiskey who is coming to turn the situation around. At that time, he said, and I quote him, under Kufuor, $1 was 1 Ghana cedis. Under John Mahama, $1 is 2 Ghana cedis. So let's change this government and bring in a competent government which will be able to turn the economic situation around. What is the rate of the dollar today? The dollar has been let loose.
They say it could have been worse if Mahama was still president.
Please,
they say
there is no basis for people to conjecture. There's no basis for conjecturing. Mahama left office when the CD, in fact, in December it was about 3.8 to a dollar. By the time we're handing over, it was about 4.1, 4.2. And so if we have managed to keep the dollar at this level, and the whiskey came in with all the promised economic messiah, and the dollar has been let loose, what kind of conjecture? What basis? I mean, people must have basis to do their argument. How do you come out and say that it could have been worse? On what basis are you doing that argument? If you have failed, just tell Ghanaians that I have failed.
Right.
Dr. Bawumia has failed to deliver as the chairman of the economic management team.
He's gearing up.
And I dare say that the president indicated that is why he brought him. And so one of the main tasks that were assigned to him was to manage the economy. And the man has failed woefully. I personally do not think that managing the country economy is about theories and about organizing big, lectures and coming out of all the theories and hypotheses and all whatever you can. It has brought nothing.
This week he would be unveiling his running mates. That's the energy minister.
The point I'm trying to make is that Dr. Bawumia, we cannot entrust the country into his hands. There is nothing that he has to offer because he was the chairman of the economic management. The president himself said that, look, because I wanted somebody who understands the economy, that's why I brought him. So why is he saying that he has limited powers?
So when they also say that now John Mahama obeyed,
John Mahama, what John Mahama is going to do is to continue the good work that he started doing. In fact, even the ICT that Dr. Bawumia is talking about and blowing his horn all over the place, the basic infrastructure, for the takeoff of ICT, i.e., the fiber optic system was put in by President John Dramani Mahama. The digital center and everything associated with, the expansion of ICT infrastructure and its derivatives were all put in place by John Dramani Mahama. But Bawumia should tell us what he has done. So I believe that what President John Dramani Mahama is going to do is to continue the massive infrastructure development that he started, which culminated into one of the biggest ports that we have in West Africa. I mean, the best port, Tema Port. Then one of the best, airport that we have, Terminal 3.
Yes, T3.
Yes, and started the Kumasi Airport, the phase 1, the navigating lights, the expansion of the runway, both in Tamale and Kumasi, and even cut the sword for the second phase of the Kumasi second phase expansion project. If you recall, it was in December. Yeah. He did the sword cutting in Kotumfo before he left. So what we are telling Ghanaians is that President John Dramani Mahama is going to continue the good work that he started. In the educational sector, he started building positive educational infrastructure, the e-blocks, the secondary school expansion project, and so on and so forth. Okay. If he was there by this time, I believe that in the health sector, I mean, you can count the number of infrastructure, the district hospitals, the regional hospitals. Then you go into education, the tertiary education system. Started the polytechnics, converted them into university, technical universities, and expanded the infrastructure on every polytechnic or technical university. Go back to the various technical universities and ask them what expansion have they experienced ever since the NDC left. Right. Again, even increasing the number of tertiary institutions. It was under the NDC. Professor Mills came in with the University of Energy and
Allied Sciences
in the renewable resources in the in the Brown region, yes. And then the University of Health and Allied Sciences in the Volta region. Together with President John Dramani Mahama, he came and also continued with the University of Environment and
is that the one at Somanya?
Somanya,
yes.
I mean, and several other infrastructure that was put in place. Okay. So if anybody asks you, tell the person that President John Dramani Mahama is coming to continue the cocoa roast projects, which open the hinterlands and the cocoa growing communities for the first time into tar roads.
Yeah.
I mean, you recall, right from the revolutionary era, cocoa were always locked up in the bushes, and getting them out was a lot of challenges. And so the cocoa road concept came in, and later on, roads were asphalted, and some of them were given bitumen surfaces here and there. Again, President Mahama is going to continue. The backbone of this country agriculture is cocoa industry. Under President John Dramani Mahama, we hit almost 1 million tons of cocoa production. What do we see now? Under Nana Akufo-Addo, cocoa production has plummeted to an all-time low of less than 500,000 metric tons. And that is the backbone of the economy, and that is why our city has no legs to stand on, because cocoa process and the syndicated loans were always used to support the city against the major currencies and thereabout. Today, cocoa production has gone down, and so supporting the economy has become very difficult. And so if you look at all this and somebody asks, then you ask them, what do they want to do again? We have given them 8 years. They have failed in every aspect. Education sector is in a mess. When you meet senior high school people and you ask them of the calendar for the senior high school, even teachers don't know their calendar. And all this is going on. The basic sector, everything is in a mess. So in the energy sector, look at the energy mix and what NDC under Professor Moss and from Jerry Rawlings through Takrade Thermal Project, through Professor Moss, Atwabo gas plant, through President Mahama, the introduction of several other interventions in the energy sector, which actually led to the ending of Dumso. When MPP came in, the accusation was that then President Mahama has generated too much energy or power to the extent that
it was excess power.
Excess power, which have which they didn't have any need of. And so they criticize us for even generating more power than necessary. If you want to embark on one district, one factory, and somebody has given you power, power is the basis of industrialization. So you should have embraced it and then use it as a pedestal or a springboard to go your industrialization. But what do we see now? Count the districts. I have been a minister for local government before. So when you tell me about one district, one factory, I don't want anybody to take the district by district and ask all of them, mention the name of the district. Where is the one district, one factory? Across the country. And you see the deception in this government. They are just deceiving us. One district, one factory, everywhere. We have 173. If you have 173 district factories, and we have just about 200 and something districts, then every district would have a project now. But I walk through this country. I move from one district to another district, and I ask, where is the one district, one factory?
Let me do this. Let me just read a few messages that have come through, and then my final question to you. In fact, maybe two quick questions. You can do that quickly. First one is that each time you ask about the NDC's performance, they will tell about physical infrastructure, so roads, hospitals, and so on and so forth. The NPP will tell you that when they are in power, they roll out more social policies. They'll talk about NHIS. They'll talk about free SHS. They'll talk about, how do you call it, in the transport sector. I've forgotten the name. What's the name of this? But they'll tell about all the social policies, school feeding,